Let's break down all the latest news from Marvel and DC movies and shows, including exclusive info about upcoming blockbusters like Avengers: Secret Wars. And in the most important part of the video, we've got a spoiler-free review of the brand new Superman movie that everyone's been waiting for the digital release of to finally see what it really brings to the table. So let's jump in and catch up with some exciting updates from Marvel and DC's cinematic worlds. Let's go. All right. First up, the DC Universe, a big success and a shift in direction with Superman 2022, which has become DC's biggest project so far. The new Superman movie, directed by James Gunn and starring David Corenswet as Clark Kent or Superman, is kind of a reimagining of the iconic character for the new generation. It's not a full reboot, not a sequel either, but more like a fresh rebuild that brings out that classic Superman feel in a modern setting. Now let's get into the spoiler-free review. If you're tired of dark and overly complicated superhero films, this is honestly a breath of fresh air. The tone of the film is warm, emotional, and nostalgic. James Gunn managed to make Superman feel more human than godlike, more relatable, down to earth. The story is super simple, but it hits you emotionally. It focuses a lot more on the character of Clark Kent, not just his powers. One of the strongest parts of the film is the concept and how it's brought to life. The production design is really nice, the music is charming, it just works. Now, what are the weak spots? Well, the pacing might feel slow for some people. Some might say it doesn't have enough action, but honestly, that's also what makes it stand out. So, what's the box office looking like? So far, it's made over $100 million and it's on its way to turning a solid profit. It's done really well in the US, but it hasn't been as strong in China and Europe. And that's a big deal because, let's be real, most recent DC films have bombed. Theaters have been a loss for DC overall. So this film is kind of their shot at redemption. With this movie and James Gunn leading the charge, DC might actually be able to breathe new life into their cinematic universe and bring in the big bucks again. Now, keep in mind, this Superman is not Zack Snyder Superman. It's not the dark, unstoppable Henry Cavill version. At least in this movie, it's a different take, and we'll have to wait and see how it evolves on screen. Speaking of which, James Gunn has laid out a roadmap for the future of DC, and I've broken it down for you. Projects include Batman the Brave and the Bold, which introduces a brand new Batman, and Damian Wayne, Bruce Wayne's son. There's also Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, based on Tom King's comic. This version of Supergirl is colder, more serious, and honestly, exactly what a lot of comic fans have been wanting. It's a darker, more intense film, totally different in tone from the lighthearted Superman movie. So yeah, Gunn showing range here and building something balanced. We've got Peacemaker Season 2 coming up too, bringing back the fan-favorite character played by John Cena. That's set to premiere sometime after 2019. And of course, The Batman, Part 2, which continues Matt Reeves' version of Batman with Robert Pattinson, is slated for release in October 2028. And interestingly, no one has been cast yet to replace Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, even though the movie itself has been confirmed. All right, time to move into the Marvel universe. After all the burnout from phases 4 and 5, Marvel Studios is finally rebuilding. Kevin Feige recently confirmed that Marvel's plan is fully laid out all the way through 2033. So even if no new movies or shows get announced for a while, everything is locked in behind the scenes. That means Marvel still has a clear roadmap. Let's just hope they bring the quality back and not stuff like She-Hulk. Now, let's talk Avengers 10. Leaks from inside the studio show that the main lineup includes characters like Sam Wilson, Bruce Banner, Captain Marvel, Wong, and even Shuri. And to be honest, that's not exactly the most hype team. They're not the most exciting characters. It doesn't hit the same. But here's where it gets interesting. The Fantastic Four are set to play a major role, especially in trying to save their son, Franklin Richards. That storyline will kick off in the Fantastic Four movie, and yeah, it's a bit confusing right now, but everything will become clearer once the film drops. Also, Doctor Doom is set to be the main villain. And there's even talk that Galactus might show up in one or even both of the upcoming Avengers films. The new Fantastic Four movie is reportedly really focused on Galactus, so it makes sense. But here's the not-so-great part. This movie is expected to mark the end of the entire multiverse storyline. After this, Marvel is heading in a new direction, which also means we might not see Steve Rogers or Tony Stark again. Yeah, Kevin Feige basically said, characters like Superman have been reimagined in cinema, so why not Steve Rogers and Tony Stark? That means Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. might not return at all. And honestly, that's kind of heartbreaking. Feels like we're really closing a chapter. Moving on, Fantastic Four 2022 is getting solid early reviews. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards apparently is an amazing casting choice. The movie's set in the 1960s, and the costume design is super detailed. The tone is more family adventure, and the VFX are top tier. We're expecting a full release in early 2023. Then there's Blade. Yeah, that vampire movie starring Mahershala Ali. It's been rewritten and delayed so many times, it's become a bit of a mess. But Feige says they don't just want it to be good, they want it to be extraordinary. The vibe is going to be a mix of horror, historical, and modern, which could be super cool. Plus, Blade is actually a potential teammate of Spider-Man in many comics, so this could lead to some dope crossovers in the future. Next up is Thunderbolts, the anti-hero team-up film. The digital version dropped on January 1st, and you can expect it to hit Disney Plus sometime around fall 2028. So yeah, a bit of a wait. As for Marvel's upcoming shows, here's what we know. Marvel Zombies, an animated, violent, adults-only show featuring zombified versions of heroes, dropping October 2019. Ironheart continues the story of Riri Williams from Black Panther, coming June 2019. Wonder Woman, Marvel's take, a comedy series set in Hollywood exploring dual identity based on a pretty cool comic arc. Wakanda, an anthology animated series about Wakandan warriors throughout history. Honestly, might be a little slow-paced. And Spider-Man Freshman Year, an animated series about young Peter Parker coming this winter. And let's be real, anything Spider-Man related automatically gets us hyped. So, to wrap this up, here's what I think. Marvel is resetting itself with new ideas, focusing more on character, and gradually transitioning to new heroes. This could either be the comeback we've all been waiting for, or a total crash. But I'm staying hopeful. And DC, with the success of the new Superman and James Gunn's smart planning, there's finally some hope returning to the DC fandom. The future of superheroes might be way brighter than we thought. Looks like cinema might just be bouncing back from that dry, boring phase Marvel and DC were stuck in. We just need to give it time and let these projects release back to back. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be part of the biggest fam on YouTube. That's it for now. Until the next video, peace out.